Up here in the top left, in the green for the Jin Air Green Wings, the Zerg player, it is Rogue.
And over here to the bottom right, in red, his opponent, it is Zest. Proclaimed by many to be the best player in the world. Feel your victory. Can't feel it yet, but we're getting close, maybe. Many proclaim Zest to be the best player in the world. He is the most recent GSL champion. And yes, he didn't win Star League as well, but Dark has fallen off significantly since he won the SSL, which was also during a time of a new meta that he and Rogue, the two players, actually kind of mastered and played better than anyone else. When no one else was really sure how to deal with it, stats failed there. But when you look at Zest, he was the more recent champion, and he has the better results in Pro League recently. So by stats alone, you could say he is the best player in the world, but maybe he has a block against Rogue. We saw this happen earlier on maps that were bad positions for Rogue. He made all the right choices.
Rogue is just such a smart player. We talk about this a lot. Like, Zest is just so clean, right? He's got all his mechanics down. His macro is fantastic. His micro is fantastic, you know. But Rogue is just, he's a thinking player. You know, he really thinks about the way to defeat Zest. And he's done it before. He's done it against other players. He always brings the crazy builds for the best of ones. And even here, another great read. He's like, no, I know you're going to come over and pile and block me again. I'll just go gas into pool right away. I'm not even going to waste my time.
Yeah. We're seeing the same thing we saw before. He's going to keep the drone here. Starts the third hatch. We fly to the victory. Another Jin Air side fan. So yes, I feel like we have seen this before. It's basically identical openings with a small optimization by Rogue, as you mentioned. We'll probably see the Cybercore block on the way out. In fact, because of the quicker spawning pool, or it's quicker spawning pool, I guess he's not even really giving that much consideration to it. Okay, he's coming back now. He will do it, I'd say. He thinks about it, you know? He's like on the fence about it. I think he wants to see how many lings are made, and he's like, 4 lings? It's too late.
No,
he's going to do it, baby.
I think he's going to... no, not quite.
That was some really indecisive moves, I'd say, by Zest. Some people might be going, well, he's like trying to trick him. I don't think so. I think that was just pure indecision. He wasn't sure. He decided not to do it. He made the choice. This is not a game winning or losing choice anyways. But yeah, he decided not to do it at the end of all things, which is interesting. So already, not only did Rogue have the faster pool and the faster reaction this time, but without a core block, the hatch goes up much faster. And it's already a better opening for Rogue than it was in the previous game, which is one of the issues in the last game. Rogue, I'm struggling through that early to mid game. Very fast overlord speed as well this time.
Yeah, wants to get that out, make sure he can scout anything that happens on this map. It is a 2-player map, so Zest could pull out something insane.
He already used his shade here. It's about to be available, but if there were more lings, that could have been scary, yeah.
So he's going to shade back now with the Queen. You know, maybe Zest wants to try for 1 drone, but nice micro here by Rogue. Forced to shade back.
Looks like he's going to rotate these Adepts out. Spending Chrono on Warp Gate research, and you know what? He's added 2 very quick gateways here. He is doing a Warp Gate timing attack here. Probably going to just be 3 gateway Adepts to really put a hurt onto that third base. And this third base we talk about all the time. He said it's a hard map for Zerg. It's so far away from the natural. There's no way there's going to be creeps from between these bases. And if he doesn't get a read on this, he might just simply die. That's why the Overlord speed is so important.
The Adept is going to die, though, which is a really nice win there for Rogue. And he is going to get the scout here of the Chrono, at least, and now he's going to see the 3 gates. And now he just wants to get the Warp Gate research out fast to make extra units to defend this third base. I was thinking maybe a little bit of pressure at the third of Rogue, but here's so far just Adepts into a faster third.
I think this is also somewhat of a reaction to the fact that he was scouted, but I also think that he is going to do several warp-ins to hold his third, and then he's going to send those same units to attack. Here's the first of such warp-ins, 3 Adepts coming in. He'll probably do 2 more of these, and then set up for the attack. And this is something that the Overlord is scouting. He's scouting everything. And this is one of the weaknesses of Adept, pure Adept builds with no Stalkers. You can't even deny Overlords. Now we're going to have a Droverlord here. The Evolution Chamber just finished. Look at that timing. And this is without Banelings, just pure Ling drop. Only a few Lings going out there. The creep is connected between the bases now as well.
I got scared there. I thought he was actually going to shade into the third, where Rogue made a bunch of Lings for the defense. And now, I mean, Zest, he just needs to kind of see this coming. He's not going to be able to see it directly. He just has to feel it, but nothing in the main just yet.
There's nothing to spot for this, and I think he's going to hit that third base. He might even be able to kill it while these Lings attack. He's going to have to make tough choices. 3 sentries just warped in. Let's see if they're enough. Here's the Lings on the main. The third base is under attack. The sentries are surrounded. Oh no! All 5 sentries go down! How can he defend this base now? How can he defend this base? Adept's coming over, but there's still Lings finally cleaned up in the main. So much done with this. All those sentries are so expensive. We lost 5 sentries. 5!
That's so many sentries. And he is going to go for another big drop here.
Yeah, and this is going to start to snowball out of control potentially if he just keeps rallying units.
Well, it looks like he wants to hit at the same time. Just a lot of harass coming in here.
Like that one adept, those 2 adepts, if he just actually goes back and brings the rest of the Lings, that's not enough.
Yeah, it looks like Zest has held on to this. Nice defense, even at the front, too. Good positioning on that mothership core. And he doesn't, outside of the sentries, which is obviously very big hurt for him, he doesn't take too much damage to his economy, so he's sticking in this one. Rogue has not taken a 4th base yet, and the only tech that he's really gotten is the Lair and the Roach Warren out here.
Looks like he wants to go for a follow-up Ravager attack with Roaches. With the damage with the sentries, that gas damage is pretty extensive, right? I thought he was going to elevator those Lings and keep pressuring and make more, but he stopped, and he did that teching as you described. So I was getting really stressed for Zest there, but with the still just light pressure he put on, he was able to defend. Now Hydra Den coming up as well. This might just simply be Ravager Roach Hydra coming out. This, again, light harass here. With the position of that little dead airspace between what may be Zest's 4th base and the main, he could just keep Lings over there, and there's nothing Zest can do about it. These Lings are just going to consistently be dropped into the base and continue to harass as a result.
Yeah, he needs to get them into position to defend here, and that he does. No, actually he doesn't. He needs to actually attack those Lings. Okay, there you go, Zest. Does defend. And at the same time, he is sending out a drop here as Rogue techs into Lurkers right away.
Yeah, I was really, I was wrong again, actually. I was expecting a timing attack, but in fact, he's going to take a 4th, and he's going down the Lurker tech path. He's not going to try to use that tempo advantage he had from killing the sentries to trying to end the game. He's just simply going to, tech up and have the better tech.
I love that spine, by the way. Just one spine, he is just so ahead of the game here. He knows exactly what's happening. I'm not sure if he spotted the Warp Prism and made it, or if it was just foresight. He's like, no, I know you're going to drop, so I'm just going to make 1 spine. And, it's a very annoying place to defend anyway, to get all your units into the main. You talk about that horseshoe effect.
Yeah. Especially
Especially if you have your units at the 30, you've got to go all the way around the natural, into the back door, into the main.
It makes a world of difference. It really does. Now, there's a Roach drop set up to the south. This is going to be obviously a little bit more heavy pressure than Lings alone. He won't be able to pull his probes to stop that one. So let's see how that plans out. Looks like he wants to wait. He moved it several times, so he's thought about dropping it, but I think he's waiting for vision of an army move out before he does that. Or maybe vision of the mothership core so that he knows that the overcharge will not be available when he attacks. Okay, he might pair it up with this attack at the front. Here we go, he is. You can see it on the mini-map. He's going to knock this wall down, and he splits the Roaches into the natural, and the drop is active in the main.
He doesn't overcommit here. He just wants to get that damage. There is a cannon in here, but he needs more to defend. Some kind of warp in. Where are the overcharges? Oh, he's got DTs.
DTs,
okay.
But still, they're killing these Roaches too slowly. 12 drone kills, 13 probes, 14 probes down. And even going to kill a pylon here, and he might even save the Roaches. He could save maybe one of them there. There's a ton of Overseers on the map. These DTs are not going to find any harassment damage. But the Immortal count is starting to get higher. He's got 2 Immortals. He has double Robo Immortal production. Immortals are the way to counter these Lurkers. You split them, you spread them, you use proper barriers, and you just overwhelm this Roach Lurker army.
He needs Archons as well, just the meaty units to get on top, do that bio damage.
So he's starting to work on that a little bit. He just warped in 5 more DTs, most likely to become Archons. And this is still a game that, even though Zest has sustained some damage, he's building the proper tech to deal with what he's up against.
Yeah, I mean, the sentries are not going to be all that great. They are going to be good against the Roaches. But look at this! There's nothing at the front, and this is so many Lings!
Sentry would have been great right there. That cannon's the only thing here. There's an overcharge in the main, but it's going to be out of range for where the probes actually are, where the meat of this army is.
And look at this army. He can't pull it back. He has to defend the 4th. And
the burrow. The generic crowd is
going
going crazy. Yeah, he waits out the overcharge, forces warp-ins to be used here.
Forces cannons, too. It's just so annoying. Oh, man, this is just getting way too much damage done. And now, he doesn't run away those probes.
Here comes the siege. The Lurkers are moving across the map. If he gets in position to cut off the units and cut them in half, this might just simply be game-ending damage. Look, he's not only at the spinner line, but he's in between the bases.
What does Zest do now? He's got to force field these units off, and that he does.
But he's taking so much damage. Killing these roaches is so insignificant compared to the damage he's sustaining here.
He needs to deal with these lurkers. He can't let them get in.
Oh,
okay, there
man.
he goes. Nice block, but no detection right
Yeah,
now.
there's 3 Overseers and a Hydra. You can even snipe observers. There's no observers on the map. Not even a single one. He's making one right now, but he has no observers.
He's making 2, and Zest's army is way out on the map, not in position to defend this at all.
This is game over, man. That's it. Where's Zest's army? Where's it going? What's it accomplishing? Nothing. He still has 5 Immortals.
Meanwhile, back at Rogue's base, he's got so many drones and is totally fine. There's no damage being done there at all. And unless Rogue threw his entire army away, even then maybe Zest wouldn't be able to win the game. This is just way too much Zerg.
Only 6 lurkers, but it's enough AoE damage. Again, this is the power of the Immortals, though. Changeling's down here as well, but this is just an overwhelming force. Zest does not have enough. The Hydras are pushing through. I don't even think he can survive this. More roaches coming down. I think that's going to be it. Look at his face. He knows he did it. Hands off the keyboard. GG.